I don't really know how to articulate it, but something about, talk about the layers of the body, the layers of the self, the layers of resistance, and just wondering how that might show up in physical pain. Pain is a description of something, but that would seem as though it's it has that label.
Well, yeah, sometimes pain is just functional pain, like a toothache, and it's not psychological, it's just something's not right and it needs attention or painkiller or something. And sometimes it's not as clear what the pain is. And it might be that it's resistance or a chronic resistance or a feeling that is embedded somehow, constricted, not allowed to unfold, or there could be many possibilities when we don't mind what it is. But, it's important to discriminate. If it's the first kind of pain, then you know what it is. Either you can do something, or you have to somehow be with it and bear it. Hope that it gets better, but usually there's something we can do for that kind of pain. The more psychological, physical, psychosomatic pain requires what we were doing this morning, a quality of welcoming. So the first requirement is that we have to take our stand. We have to somehow be open to the possibility, or recognize, because we know it already, but experientially recognize that the true I, right now, right this moment, is this borderless presence. And that may not be self-evident. It might be that you're very early in your exploration of this non-dual so-called understanding. So that might need some clarifying, both up at the level of the mind, and then at the level of feeling. What does that mean? And again, this is what we were doing here, but I'm not sure where you are in your process. Once we take our stand, you could say, as the sky. The sky is transparent, it's borderless, it doesn't have a preference in terms of the weather systems. So that means that you're experiencing yourself as something that is quite unfocused and unbothered. The sky doesn't mind. So as soon as you feel bothered, you know that you've narrowed your perspective again, that you've taken a point of view as a cloud, in fact, a cloud viewing another cloud. And so in this approach, you have to, when that happens, you can't undo it, you have to see it first. When you see it, meaning you feel it, you experience it, you see that this focusing of attention appears on the radar of experience as a contraction or a resistance, and it's appearing in awareness. So in that scene, in a way, the focusing relaxes. And it's on and on and on throughout the session like that. It's I think you said back and forth, back and forth. So sometimes you're back in the body, as the resistance, stuck, lost in the experience, and then Ellen says something, or you realize it, and somehow there's space again. You're tasting the openness that you are, and then therefore, like Femke was describing, there's space, and the tears can flow, and in terms of pain, over time, in this exploration, we find that whatever psychosomatic contraction, which is what the separate self is at the level of the body, it's what I awareness become when I believe myself to be a body. A contraction. And ouch. In order to maintain that, there's a lot of tension that is generated and some localized, various places around the head, in the shoulders, in the feeling centers, depending on each of us, or preferences. So over time you find that things relax and pains soften. But it's... No, you go ahead.
But it's just as you were saying that, the other thing that occurred to me was, at one level, it's what you said earlier, that there's also nowhere to get to.
No,
There's no outcome.
that's right.
Because that also resonated, you can do it, otherwise it becomes in the spiritual ego.
That's right. However, most of us at some point during these sessions, we will feel the arising of an agenda. Big time, but that's perfect because then we can, instead of taking the train with the agenda and saying, yeah, I'm going to get rid of this terrible resistance, blah, 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 we say, oh, agenda, let's see what it's made of. How does it appear in the body? This anticipation, this desire, or this, whatever we want to call it. And, there might be also a thought that comes with it, but here we're even more interested in what is an agenda at the level of the body? What is agendaing at the level of the body? For you, it would be different for all of us.
And there was also something when you sort of talked about offering it to the altar. I don't know, can't really quite put words on that, but that felt there was something quite rich about that.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good because in my experience, sometimes when we're lost in suffering or in separation or in believing that I am this body, mind, and we've lost sight of, I won't say God, but we've lost sight of the sweetness. So before we can actually really step in and recognize that I am God, we somehow have to turn back towards God as the separate self. At this moment, we are the separate self. That's what we believe. So that separate self needs to take herself to the shrine. Because even though she's believing herself to be a separate self, in her heart, there's such a longing. In her body, there's such a thirst for the truth. So that thirst or longing or sadness, whatever it is, takes you to the shrine. and there you kneel in front of the altar. And the only thing you can do is surrender. And in this approach, my teacher used to say that it so helped me to offer your experience to the altar. And experience means everything, unconditionally. And in doing that, you realize that it's not a duty. First you do it, and then you realize, oh, it's the nature of experience that it surrenders itself back to presence. Oh, I is the altar, this presence that I am.